I think a lot of people believe that health care is a right. Well, that is utter nonsense. People don't have an understanding what is a right. Let me just briefly explain what a right is. A right is something that exists simultaneously among people. A right does not confer any obligation on another. Let me give you an example of this. My right to free speech does not impose an obligation on another except that of non-interference. My right to travel to Texas, to travel to California, does not impose an obligation on somebody else. That is, we share these rights simultaneously. Now, when somebody is talking about a right to health care, whether he can pay for it or not, that's not a right, because that imposes an obligation on somebody else. That is, if you have a right to medical care, whether you can pay for it or not, it of necessity means that somebody else does not have a right to what he earned. Because the government does not get the money from the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus. It has to get it from somebody. And so you're right. If you say you have a right to medical care that you did not earn, or you have a right to housing or food that you did not earn, it of necessity means somebody else must not have a right to something that he did earn. Now, the way the rights are used now by the left in our country, and many of the right as well, my right to travel freely would mean that you have to pay for an airline ticket for me and hotel accommodations. Or my right to free speech would impose an obligation on others to buy me a studio, to buy me a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, they are not rights. They are merely wishes. Now, if you say that if you wish everybody had health care, everybody had insurance, then I would agree with you, because I wish every American had it too. I wish every American had a nice car, nice house, had a good job, but it's not a right. So there's a difference between wishes and rights. And when you allow government to say, well, we're going to create this right, we're going to create that right, even though people don't have the money, then it's taking away rights from other people. Is that fair? Is that any kind of justice? Now, so you say, well, Williams, well, what are we going to do? What could we do without a food stamp program? We absolutely need a food stamp program. Well, when people say that we absolutely need this program or that program, I always ask, what did we do before? I mean, in the case of food stamps, when the poor Irish were landing in the 1840s, fleeing the potato famine, landing in New York without anything, was there a food stamp program? Or did they just die on the streets? Were you stepping over dead bodies all over New York because of people starving? That's not a part of our history. So we have to always ask the question, what did we do before? And more importantly, what is the constitutional authority for the federal government to be doing it?